Hi, this is Gene DiNapoli. Just want to let you know that your comments tonight might be shown on screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gene DiNapoli.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 44 of the Reminiscing with Gene DiNapoli podcast. I made a mistake last week, but hey, I'm allowed to mistake once every 38 years, and that was my mistake. And right now, a word from our sponsors.
Hi, this is Francisco. Many people call me the creative CPA. If you need help with your taxes or financial matters, please email me your cell number and the best time and day to call you. You can email me at franciscisco@aol.com, and Cisco is spelled SISCO. The creative CPA. It's that simple, that easy. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Howard, and along with my partner Karen, we are Cruise Planners Dream Destinations Travel. Contrary to the name, we are a full-service travel agency specializing in individual, multi-generational, and group vacations. Certified with all major cruise lines, we are also represent all resorts and all-inclusives throughout the beautiful Caribbean and Mexico. Let us build your dream vacation. Please call us at 347-398-8653 for a free, no-obligation quote.
Little Italy Auto Repair at 628 Crescent Avenue in the true Little Italy of the Bronx. Over 50 years of automotive service excellence, ASE and state certified, offering all types of services to all types of cars. Discounts to first responders, military, Fordham University students and faculty. All work is done by Victorio with the highest level of quality possible. Telephone number is 718-933-2365 or visit his website at www.littleitalyAutobronx.webs.com. That's Little Italy Auto Repair. Thank you to all our sponsors. We have one more sponsorship slot. Don't forget that now, being that we are being seen on multiple networks, we have a vast majority of people. We can get your product or your service out there. So that's great. Want to let you know I started a new part-time job. I am now working for a company called Lendipity. They are a credit repair company. So if you have less than perfect credit, looking for a business loan, finance loan, auto loan, if you want to buy a jet or a yacht, hey, contact me through Gene DiNapoli at gmail.com, and we'll put you in touch with the right people to get your loan approved fast and furious. Want to dedicate tonight's show to my mother-in-law, Roseanne. A very happy birthday, Ma. You look great for 113. God bless you. We love you. All right. So we are now part of a network called the Chapters Network, run by Steve Vaccaro. Tonight is our first show with them. Steve and Ray Negron have a great network, which we're proud to be part of, with our friends Ashley Blum, Tyler Gianchetta, and Rachel Barcelona, LaShawn, and so many other great people. They're a great community outreach network, and we're very proud to be part of them. Tonight, okay, so listen, you know I get extra excited when I have somebody that I know on the show, somebody I've worked with. But tonight, I not met this man, and I've never worked with him. But we're going to work with him. And he's got two other things that are really incredible. Number one, he's a fellow Italian. Hey! And number two, he was born in the Bronx. And he's going to tell you about that journey from being born in the Bronx, moving to Jersey, and hitting the worldwide stage. So we want you to welcome, for a great doo-wop group called the Knockouts, the 2022 East Coast Hall of Fame nominee, singer, actor, and even more so than that, one of the greatest entertainers out there. Let's give it up for Mr. Bobby D'Andrea, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in, Bobby. Okay, where's Bobby? There you are.
I'm here.
Hey, Bobby, how are you? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Look, just move over to your left a little so you can be in the spotlight. Or not, yeah, right. There you go.
How I am.
Good, Bobby. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Bobby, you're coming to us from your home now in New Jersey.
In Toms River, New Jersey.
Toms River, but you're a Bronx boy, I found out.
I was born in the Bronx.
Where were you born?
In a hospital.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? Whether you're born in the Bronx and migrated right away, or you're from the Bronx, you still got that Bronx blood.
Yeah, you never lose that. You
never lose it. No. Never, ever lose it. Want to congratulate you on the 2022 nomination for Legendary Performer in the East Coast Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of very talented people nominated. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean?
You know what, Bobby? Some people say it's nice to win, but it's also great to be nominated.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree, but I want to win.
Yeah, well, you're going to win, and you've already won another title, if I may, and don't get upset, but sometimes I say things I shouldn't say.
Go ahead.
But you are now going to celebrate your 89th birthday.
August 19th.
August 19th, and you are officially the oldest living lead doo-wop singer out there today. Am I correct?
That's what I heard. I don't know. They've been checking it out, but so far I think I'm ahead. I don't know.
Well, we called the Guinness Book of World Records, and they have confirmed it. You are the oldest living leading doo-wop singer. Let's hear it for Bobby D'Andrea, everybody. Yeah.
Hey. Wow.
Salud.
I can't believe that. That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
So, Bobby, I want you to take us on a musical journey, starting, and you've done so much. I don't know how we're going to get this in quickly. You started with you formed the Knockouts in 1957,
correct?
Right?
That's right.
And you were primarily known as a live act because of your stage shows.
Right.
And the original members were Eddie Parenti,
correct,
Bob Collada, Henry Venuta.
Right.
Right?
That's correct.
Now, those were all Jewish guys, right? All Jewish guys.
Yeah, right. But, I didn't keep Harry Venuta that long because I had Harry for a while, but then I went on to Pierre LaSalle, who was
okay.
He was a fantastic performer. He did Fats Domino. You close your eyes, you thought you were listening to Fats Domino. He was a tremendous entertainer. He's passed away, unfortunately, but he was really wonderful. Really terrific.
Well, we thank him for all
still,
his great talent.
Still alive. He's still around. He's in West New York, New Jersey. Unfortunately, Pierre and Bobby Collada are both passed away.
Well, we pray for them and want to thank them for all the great music that they gave us. You know, people say the Knockouts and one massive hit comes to mind, but you had a couple of other pretty decent songs. But right now we're going to play your trademark song, recorded in 1960, considered a doo-wop classic. Anthony, let's hit it with video one. Darling Lorraine. This goes out to Lorraine Palumbo. Hit it, Anthony.
You're sent from heaven. You're really...
Who was hitting that falsetto?
That's Eddie Parenti.
That's Eddie Parenti.
In the background. Yeah, that's
right. So, but you guys were also a musical act as well.
Yes, we did comedy in the act and everything.
Right, but what I meant by that was you just weren't four guys up front. You actually performed your own instrumentation too.
Yes, we were self-contained.
You were self-contained.
Yeah.
Let me ask. Yeah.
The funny thing about Darling Lorraine is a really funny story because.
Please tell us.
Yeah. Well, what happened was we went into the studio to record that, and originally that song was going to be recorded with girl singers in the background. The DeMarco sisters were supposed to be. Yeah, remember the DeMarco sisters?
No, I'm a little young, so I don't remember.
I guess
a little bit.
I'm older than 30. So what happened was but it didn't like the way it sounded. So just at the end of the session, we were going to call it a day. So we just weren't going to record it. And I told Eddie, let's try it one more time. Just you singing in the background. Just fake it. Just do what you can with it. And he came up with that idea. And that's how we came up with Darling Lorraine.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a fluke. You know what I mean?
And sometimes flukes are the best.
Sometimes a mistake. What you think is a mistake is not a mistake.
Right. Now, you recorded that in 1960.
Correct.
So between 57 and 60, when you were performing, what type of songs were you doing in your live act?
Well, all the doo-wop stuff, all the music of the time. We did all we covered. We're a cover group, but see our main thing. We did a lot of comedy.
You did a lot of comedy.
It's always been my mainstay. I'm basically a comedian. I'm not a singer who's a comedian. I'm a comedian who's a singer.
Is that how you describe yourself?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I always put. That's what I always considered myself.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I will tell you this. When I did my research on you, unfortunately, there's not a lot of information about the Knockouts and Bobby DeAndrea. But I found out you recorded one of my favorite songs of all time. And you did a great job of it. And we're going to play a little bit of one of your releases, and you're going to tell us about this, Stormy Weather. Anthony, hit it. Stormy Weather.
I don't know why there's no sun up in the sky. Stormy weather. It's my gal and I ain't together. It's raining all the time.
Wow, great song.
Yeah, well, we did that, but the song we did right after Darling Lorraine, we covered, it was Rich Boy, Poor Boy. And that was, that was on the radio. That got airplay.
Tell us about recording Stormy Weather.
Well, Stormy Weather, we winged that. We did that in one take.
No way.
We were just sitting in the studio, and we gave it a shot. Those things where you just give it a shot, and it came off.
And that once again was Eddie Parenti in the background.
Yes.
You're boggling my mind with saying that you just winged it.
That's it. Well,
today,
a lot of the stuff we did was like off the top of our heads. We just we did it as we went along. You know what I mean?
And this was at Time Brent Records.
That was on Shad.
That was on Shad.
I was on several labels. I was on Shad. I was on Tribute. I was on Scepter. We gave it a shot with a lot of studios.
Did you really?
Yeah. Well, back then, it was a different world, Gene. The music business was different then than it is now. It was a whole different animal.
Right.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, we had Emil Stuccio on the show.
He's a good.
Yeah,
good.
Great guy, great guest, and he was with, I think, 5 or 6 different record labels.
Yeah.
In a small span.
Yeah.
Today, you get signed to a label and you're there for 20 years.
Well, yeah. Like I said, back then it was a different animal.
Right. So we were you were just talking about your second follow-up, Rich Boy, Poor Boy.
Yeah.
Now, who wrote that song? We couldn't get any information.
Eddie and I wrote that.
So you wrote that. So this was the first song you co-wrote?
Pardon me?
This was the first song you wrote?
That I had anything to do with. Darling Lorraine was written by Eddie Parenti and a lady by the name of Rose Gallagher. See, Darling Lorraine was a poem. She came to us. She had written this poem. This woman, she came into the club, and she had written this poem, Darling Lorraine. And she said, "Could you put this to music?" And we did.
And that was that.
But she wrote the words. She wrote the words.
Wow.
Lyric. She wrote the lyric. Yeah, with me,
Well, you might consider it lucky, but I consider it a little luck and a little talent as well. We're going to play a little bit of Rich Boy, Poor Boy, and want to hear the story about that afterwards. Anthony, hit it. Rich Boy, Poor Boy.
Rich boy, poor boy, which will it be? Rich boy, poor boy, which will it be? I'll give you anything, but I'll give you love. I'll give you diamond, God knows up above.
What a great song.
Yeah.
So you wrote that one with Eddie. Okay. How long did it take you to record something to write something like that?
Well, Eddie and I did it together. It took us a couple of weeks.
Wow.
We spent, I had thought of the idea because up until that time, Eddie was always singing just background, and I wanted to give him a chance to show what he could do because Eddie had a very good voice. Eddie was a good singer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely was. Now, you had mentioned, we're going to go back to Darling Lorraine for 1 second. I noted that on the flip side of Darling Lorraine, which was a ballad, you had a rock and roll song called Riot in Room 3C.
Yeah, that was not a ballad. That was an instrumental. It was a crazy instrumental.
Crazy instrumental.
3C there was no vocals on it.
None at all.
None at all.
So when you did that in your show, you did a lot of movement.
Yeah, I'm a dancer. See, I do a very high, even now I do a very high energy show. In other words, when I come out, I'm dancing. I'm wild. It's all wild stuff.
We know that because we saw some of your stuff, which we'll see later. But I want to tell you how I originally heard of you, Bobby, because I'm only 55 years old,
Right.
and you must have been on hiatus of doing the knockout stuff for when I was growing up, because my mother married my father, my second father, who was from Bogota, New Jersey.
Right.
And he used to say to me, you know, you're a great entertainer, but you got to go see this one guy, Bobby DeAndrea. He's got a group called Andre and Sorrell. And my stepfather is the world to me. Matter of fact, if you could say hello to Louis right now, that would mean the world to me.
Louis, how you doing, baby?
Louis living in South Carolina.
Okay.
He wanted me to tell you that he used to go see you at Luciano's on Route 46.
Yeah. Now, he's one of the real old timers. How old is he?
He's going to be 84.
Ah, buona fortuna.
No, excuse me, 85. I don't even
85.
remember.
Ooh.
And he's on the beach every day in South Carolina.
Good friend. Tell him to keep active. Keep active.
Absolutely.
I walk 4 miles a day.
You walk 4 miles a day.
Every day.
That's great. On the flip side of Rich Boy, Poor Boy was a great song called Please Be Mine.
Yeah.
Tell me about that before we get to it.
Well, you know, that song, I really know what to tell you about that because we didn't write it.
Okay.
It's a piece of material that was given to us. And we just, you know, they laid it out to us what they wanted to do, and we did it. It was not it actually isn't one of my favorite songs.
It's not?
No, I just had always had a come see, come saw feeling about it. You know what I mean?
Well, the problem is one of our viewers is a dear friend named Sally G.
Okay.
And he likes that song, so we have to play.
That's the thing about music, you know. Sometimes I never thought much. I didn't hate the song. I just never thought much about it. But you know what? Like it's like stormy weather.
Right.
I got a call from San Diego last year from a disc jockey in San Diego, and he was crazy about stormy weather. He thought I should have followed Darling Lorraine with stormy weather.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay, well, we're going to play a little bit and dedicate it to our man, Sally G, the godfather of doo-wop.
Okay.
Play it, Ed.
Please be mine, oh, forever and ever, oh, till the end of time. Oh, I love only you. Oh, 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 oh. Yay, yay, yay. Please be mine, oh, forever and ever, oh, my love.
So that was written by Eddie Parenti as well.
Yes.
Okay, and the Lady Gallagher. What was her name?
Right. Rose Gallagher.
Right. Now, I noticed the melody, it sort of mirrors two of the songs that Shad Records had out at the time called I've Had It by the Bell Notes, and It Was I by Skip and Flip.
Skip and Flip.
It's sort of like the same beat and dance beat. Was that Shad Records formula?
Well, kind of. You're right there. You're right onto something there. They wanted a certain sound at the time, if you know what I mean, and they wanted everything to basically sound like that.
Okay.
I couldn't understand that kind of thinking, but you know, back then they were the guys doing it. So okay, that's what you want. That's what we'll give you.
When you were recording for Shad Records, did you sing backup on anybody else's songs?
No, I didn't do that. A lot of groups did.
A lot of groups did. A lot of groups did.
I never was into that.
Okay. All right. Well, you were a working entertainer because of everything you did.
Exactly. No, you can understand at this same time you're talking about, I was in Vegas in '58. I was in Vegas. I mean, you know, we the knockouts. We were in Vegas in '58. We were there again in '59. We were there again in '60. So we were going back and forth to Vegas.
Wow.
So you got to understand something, Gene. Recording was like a sideline for me. my big love was live performing. I noticed I used to love to work the clubs. I wanted to work live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you were the opposite of everybody else.
Yep.
Everybody else wanted a record contract. You wanted to perform live.
Correct.
We have a comment here.
If a record contract came, great. I wouldn't turn it down.
Right.
But at that time, remember, as I said to you before, I was pushing the comedy thing.
Right.
So music was, I mean, I liked that. I was happy. I was thrilled that I had Darling Lorraine, but, and I used it to my, to make things good for me. You know, I made it work for me. You know, when you're recording artists, a lot of doors open for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of comedy, we have one of our avid viewers, a good friend of ours named Sonny Maxon, who is known as the photographer to the stars. He said to ask you about when you perform as Jimmy Durante. Tell us about it.
That's one of my, well, I've been doing Jimmy Durante for like so many years. But now I made it, what I did with it, I made it very poignant. What I do with Jimmy Durante now, I do his ballads, you know, and not so much the comedy thing.
Sure.
The ballad, because he, you know, I do like I'll Be Seeing You, Smile, songs like that.
Smile, which was written by the late, great Charlie Chaplin.
You got that right.
So tell us, besides you, can you see the picture we have up?
Yes.
So that's you in the lower left.
Yes.
Tell us about the other guys. Tell us who the other guys are, Bobby.
Well, let's see. From left to right.
Anthony, keep that picture up, Anthony.
It's Harry Venuta, me, and I haven't got the thing in front of me yet. I have to see it again. Bobby Collada, and then Eddie Parenti's at the very bottom.
Eddie Parenti, the guy who did the falsetto.
Yes.
At the bottom. And what did Eddie play?
Guitar.
He played guitar.
Guitar.
And the rest of the guys.
Bobby Collada was keyboards. Bobby Collada was keyboards, and Harry Venuta was a drummer.
Wow, great. Let's go back to 1961. You recorded Fever.
Back to 1960.
You recorded Fever.
Yes.
The classic standard Fever.
Yeah. The Peggy
Lee. Yeah. So I was not able to find that anywhere. Yeah. How did you do that? Was it up tempo? Was it a ballad? How did you do that?
Pretty much in the same beat. It's always done. It's traditional. But I used it. That was another thing we used on stage.
Gotcha.
Believe it or not, I did a comedy thing with that.
What did you do?
Oh, I don't remember. Really, that went so far back, I don't even remember what I did on that one. But I did something crazy with it. I had some kind of costume on. I don't know what I was doing.
It's quite all right. Now, right after you did that, there was a little hiatus with the singles. Am I correct?
Yes.
So what happened between 61 and 64?
Well, it was I was doing all nightclub work.
Where was that primarily?
At that time, I was working constantly. You have to understand, this wasn't a thing where I worked on weekend. We were working, going on the road. We worked up and down the East Coast.
Wow.
Right across the country. I mean, we were a road act, if you know what I mean. So unlike a lot of the Jersey groups who stayed local, I told you, I practically lived in Vegas because we were back and forth to Vegas so many times.
Were you in a certain hotel?
Yes, Fremont.
The Fremont.
That was downtown.
Yeah, we know that. That's with the cowboy.
Yeah.
With the cowboy.
And then since that time, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I worked all over, because Vegas, I worked the MGM Grand, I worked the Frontier, I worked a couple of rooms there. When
you worked these Vegas shows, did any other performers come to visit you?
Oh, all the time. I had a lot of celebrities come in to see me. And one of them really, well, that was much later on, though. That's when I was with Andre and Sorrell. I had Sid Caesar come in, Henny Youngman. I could go down the line. I mean, so many. And when I was in Puerto Rico, I don't know if you know this, but I was with Pat Gallo too.
No way.
I was with Pat Gallo for 2 years.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we worked the MGM Grand together. We were in Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, we worked to all the stars. In fact, we had the honor of doing Sammy Davis Jr.'s birthday party. So we
In
performed.
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, we performed when I was with Pat Gallo. He was there. Tony Bennett was in the audience. Tom Jones, Liza Minnelli. It was unbelievable night.
So between 61 and 64.
No, I was with Pat in 1970. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. 1970 to 1972.
Wow. But between 61 and 64, without recording.
But I was doing all road work with them.
Right. So how did you decide? Right. How did you decide, Bobby, that in 64, in the heart of the British invasion, to go back into recording more doo-wop songs like this one called What's on Your Mind? Anthony, hit it. What a great song.
Yeah, it was good. But you know what? Nothing took off then. With the British invasion, a lot of us guys, we were out of business. It wasn't happening.
But you still had the live gigs.
That's what I mean. That's what kept us going.
Right.
That's what kept us going.
So
thank God we had them, because if we wouldn't have had them, then we've been out of business.
Right. So let me ask you this. So you came back in 64 as the Knockouts.
Yeah.
You were still doing
Knockouts. We would have knocked out the whole time.
Right. Until when?
How long did the Knockouts last?
Yeah.
Till 68.
68.
69. Yeah.
And you were still doing the clubs.
Yes.
So in 69, you created Andre and Sorrell.
No. In 1969, that's when I went with a group called the Angel Brothers.
The Angel Brothers?
They were out of Pennsylvania. And I was with them till 1971. And then in 1971, I went with Pat Gallo.
Okay, wait a minute. So let's talk about the Angel Brothers for a minute.
Yes.
Were they a recording act?
No.
They
were strictly a show group.
A show group out of Pennsylvania?
They were a horn band. All horns, mostly horns.
Sure.
Excellent. Great group. And I was with them. I did Vegas with them also.
And you were the lead singer?
Yes. Well, I was the lead singer, and also the other gentleman, Andy Angelucci. We billed ourselves as brothers. We weren't brothers, but we billed ourselves as brothers.
Right. Did you play an instrument, Bobby?
Way long time ago, but I stopped.
You stopped?
I played a little bit of guitar, but not much.
So now you're with the Angel Brothers.
In 1971, I went with Pat Gallo. Then I was with him for a couple of years, and after him, I went with Andre and Sorrell.
Okay, so Pat Gallo and you did a duo?
With a band, with a big band. Yeah, big band. We traveled. We worked all the top rooms in the country, all the top rooms. And then when that came to an end, that's when I got a hold of Frank Sorrell, And Frank Sorrell and I were together for almost 46 years.
Question. When you did these gigs with other people, did they know you were the lead singer of Darling Lorraine?
Oh, yeah.
So you always kept that in the show?
No.
No.
No. It's not the way it worked that way, Gene. You see, when you're in a certain circuit like that, when you're doing the club circuit like I was doing, unless you're doing in a doo-wop situation, they don't care about that. Doo-wop works where doo-wop is wanted. You know what I'm saying?
I'm listening. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
They didn't, like when I was in Puerto Rico with Pat Gallo, they didn't care about that. They wouldn't have cared. If I would have done Darling Lorraine, they wouldn't even have known what that was, because it wasn't a doo-wop world. Doo-wop is only for people who love doo-wop. And I love doo-wop. You love doo-wop. You know what I mean? But the type of thing I was doing, it was in a whole different ball game.
You know what's funny? I don't know if you remember a band called Alive and Kickin'.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, my friend Pepe was the lead singer. He had a #2 hit in 1970. Okay. And then he became a nightclub band in the 80s and 90s doing that music. Okay. But in the middle of his set, he would do his hit record.
Yeah.
And it either went one of two ways. It either made more fans or it cleared the dance floor.
See? Right. You're right on the money.
Right. You're right on the money.
Yeah.
So you played it close to the hip.
Yeah, I did. That's a good way of putting it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if your album, Go Ape with the Knockouts, is available. Do you know if that's available?
You know, that's so funny you say that. I was just, my buddy Victor was just looking that up the other day. And what was that, online, Victor? Yeah. So, and he got it online, and there was one album available, and they wanted $50 for it. And he said it was slight. It says it was used a little bit, but it's still pretty clear. That's the album. There's an album out there, one.
Right. Mentioning Victor, we want to thank Victor Mano, who's your friend and your drummer, for helping us tonight. Victor, can you put your hand in the camera and just wave? Can you put your hand?
I don't know. Can you see me?
No, not yet. Keep going, Victor.
Oh,
keep going, Victor. There you go. Say hello, Victor.
There he is.
All right.
Now, you know, Victor's going to be doing all the shows with me that I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of single shows, and Victor the drum on my shows.
Right. Before we get to that, let's talk about what I was told was the greatest comedy duo, the comedy music duo in history, Andre and Sorrell. Tell us about his name was Frank
Sorrell.
Tell us.
His real name is Cirillo. His real name is Cirillo.
Right. Where did you meet Frank?
Well, Frank was working with a group called Russ Marlowe, and I had heard about him. He was a tremendous singer. I mean, this guy knocked your socks off. Good-looking guy, sang beautifully, and he had never done comedy before. And we got together and we formed a group.
That's him, right, in the picture, right?
That's him.
And Frank was from Jersey as well?
Yes, he is.
How easy was it going from a group to a duo?
It was a big transition. It was a transition, but it was a very easy one for me because, you know, I'm a comedian. That's what I do.
Right. Yeah, I'd say you're a comedian because we found some clips online. Do you have children, Bobby?
Yes.
Okay. 4 boys?
No, 2 boys, 2 girls.
2 boys, 2 girls. We hope they're not watching tonight because this next clip is either going to get them to embrace you or disown you. Anthony, play video number 6.
Saving the world so many times, it's Superman! There he is. Look at him, a little older, a little bit older now.
You know what that is?
I know exactly what that is. That's Superman for the geriatric crowd. That's what that is.
It's a Jewish Superman. It's a Jewish Superman.
What was his name?
Well, you see, when Frank is talking to me, and Frank goes, says, Superman. Says, that's not a Jewish name. I said, well, you're pronouncing it wrong. I said, it's Superman. Murray.
So who came up with that skit?
Me. I write all my material. I write all the material.
You write all your material?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a heart attack. But all right, so you go from Superman, which was an easy thing to do because he was a real character. But
Yeah.
we're gonna play a bit of Jimmy Itchy. Anthony, give us a little bit of Jimmy Itchy.
Jimmy Itchy.
Hoyang, noi sanoyang, no ni no tokainoa.
You know what's the shame, Bobby,
What?
is that people today would have you arrested.
Oh, forget it. Are you crazy with the cancel culture? They'd send me, they'd ride me out on a rail.
Did you ever get like people upset at your acts?
At that, before the cancel, I felt a lot of people get upset. I didn't give it on. I mean, listen, comedy's comedy. Comedy's supposed to be outrageous. Come on, Gene, you know that.
I get you. Listen,
I
get
can't be a comedian today. You can't be a comedian today. Everything you say is offensive. You know that.
You know, between what you do physically and what Andrew Dice Clay does verbally, people should understand comedy is not retelling history. It's not War and Peace. It's to make you laugh.
That's
and
right.
to get right. So if you go to a comedy club and you get offended, maybe you shouldn't be going to the comedy club in the first place.
Amen.
Jimmy Itchy. I can't. I watched it. Listen to me. I watched it 5 times today to try to get the laughter out so I wouldn't laugh now.
Okay.
But that was great.
Yeah.
That was great. Tell us a little more about Frankie Sorrell. Tell us a little more.
Well, I mean, Frank was a great singer. He a very good impressionist. He did a lot of impressions. His Dean Martin was dynamite. He did Tom Jones. You'd close your eyes, you thought it was Tom Jones. I mean, it was just fantastic. He was a very good performer. Frank's working on his own now, though. And I'm going off. I'm doing my thing, and he's doing his thing. But we had a great 46 years.
So Frankie's still.
He's still performing.
He's still working.
Yeah, he's doing a job here and there, And then
Where is he?
It's a struggle now. Let's face it. We're both up there. It's a new world. But what can I say? We're both trying to make a living.
Right. Where is he based out of?
Well, he lives in Edison now.
So still New Jersey.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, and sometimes, Bobby, I open my mouth and I get myself in trouble. For the right money, could Andre and Sorrell be reunited?
Oh, well, that's off the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Okay.
Who knows? I mean, that's a question like that. You don't know. That's a hypothetical.
Okay. After Frankie Sorrell and you parted ways, I believe you hooked up with a guy named Gary Chris for a while.
Yeah, Gary Chris did some of the was doing the background for me for Darling Lorraine. He worked with me, yes. Now I've been doing that. I was with him for a couple of years now. It's been doing that quite a while with him. But now I'm doing what a lot of the lead singers are doing. And in fact, a friend of yours, Larry Chance.
Yes.
We're going off on our own.
This picture right here, is that you and Gary Chris?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and Gary is still with us.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if that's Gary on that one. Yes, it is Gary Chris. Yeah. Yeah, he's still with us. Yeah.
And what is he doing?
Well, I mean, he doesn't. Oh, in fact, what should I almost forgot. Gary Chris now is with the Belmonts.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's doing lead singing for them with the Belmonts right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't mind, I just want to mention something about Gary. Gary had one of the biggest party bands in New Jersey, right?
Right.
He worked with a group called Gary Chris and the Crystals.
Correct.
Not the Crystals.
He also had a hit record.
He had a hit record in 1978 with his own version of Rio de Janeiro.
Yep.
That's a great record. Just like all of your songs, we want our viewers to do their own homework and hear it. Maybe we could find Gary's record at another time and play that. That was about the time that Peter Allen also had his hit.
Yeah, his hit was not the same song, though. His hit was I Go to Rio.
Okay.
Gary's was called Rio de Janeiro.
Gotcha.
Different songs. They weren't the same song.
Right. Okay. Thank you for educating me on that. I appreciate that. Going back to the knockouts for a minute or two, you continued to record well into 1965. Your last song was called Falling from Paradise.
Right.
Was that, now you wrote that?
No.
You didn't write that?
No.
Okay. Who did write that, if you remember?
I have no idea.
But you picked that song to do?
Yes.
Did you pick it? Was it metaphorical, Bobby? Falling from the paradise of the doo-wop era?
No, well, the song is a love song.
It's a love song.
It's a love song. It's about a guy in love, and she dumped him, and now he was falling from paradise. It was paradise being with her, and he fell from paradise.
Right.
Isn't that touching?
That's pretty in depth there.
Yeah.
So we have another video here. So you know what? This is going to not only offend one person, but you went at it, and you and Frankie went after two types of people in this next video. Anthony, video 8. Everybody, please just take it as entertainment.
And every time I try to stay, the winds of change continue blowing, and they just carried me away to all the girls I've loved before.
So if making fun of one person, one nationality wasn't enough, you went all out and did 2 in 1 song.
Exactly. Nothing was safe.
Wasn't it a more fun world back then?
Yes, it was. Unfortunately, I tell you, all the comedians are complaining right now, though. Sebastian Mascaliano, he said the same thing. You can't do comedy. Everybody's offended. You don't know who you're offending.
Well, you know, when you get to a point like that, like Sebastian Maniscalco, people know what they're going to get when they walk into his show.
Yeah, but he's been having a problem. He's been starting to have a problem.
Really?
Yeah, because you never know. It's like one little, everybody is a critic now.
Right.
Everybody's offended. They find something to offend themselves with. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
You're right. I do agree with you that comedy should be viewed as comedy.
Well, like I said, you just said it before. You're laughing. I did the things I did. You're laughing at them. They're really not offensive. They're just funny. You're making fun of something. It's okay.
Right.
Nobody gets hurt.
Nobody gets hurt. See, that's what a lot of people don't realize. It's
Who's
all
hurt?
entertainment.
They
Right.
make themselves be. There are people that are professional hurters. They I'm offended. Enough with that. Enough with
Right. Of course. Tell us about your foray into the acting, Bobby?
Yeah, well, the first movie I did was Joe Pesci's first movie, The Death Collector.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't know about that one?
No.
Yeah, I had quite a nice sized part in that. But it's Joe Pesci's first movie. If you ever get a chance to scan the movie, you'll see me. I have a nice sized part in it.
So that was your first foray into
And I
acting.
did that with Joe Pesci was in it. Frankie Vincent was in it. Yeah,
Well,
so
Frankie
yeah.
and Joe always work together.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that Joe, as well as Frankie, were musicians as well.
And they were a comedy team.
Yes. They were called
Vincent and Pesci.
Vincent and Pesci.
Yep.
That's what it was. And of course, Joe Pesci got his start in the Joey D movie, Hey, Let's Twist. He put Tommy DeVito together with Frankie, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
What did you do after that, The Debt Collector? Did you do any other?
No. Oh, no, I didn't. And then I did some extra work. I did a lot of extra work.
Okay.
In movies. You just work as an extra.
Right.
And then,
I don't know. What?
And then finally later on, in '93, that's when I got into Bronx Tale.
Right. I don't know why you have not been cast in a comedic movie as the lead actor.
Well, I would have loved to have done that.
You're naturally funny. Your facial expressions are priceless. I wish somebody out there in our viewership and listening land has a script that maybe they could reach out to Bobby DeAndrea and say, hey, we got a great part for you.
Oh, from your lips to you know who.
Yeah. One of the next clip we're going to play, Bobby, is once again Darling Lorraine. And it's from a PBS show that you did.
That's right.
Now, sometimes the songs are bigger than the artists. I believe Darling Lorraine, which was known all over the country, was not credited to the Knockouts until you appeared on this show.
Yeah.
So we're going to play it, and then I want to talk about post PBS. Anthony, hit it. Video 9, Darling Lorraine by the great Bobby DeAndrea and the Knockouts.
Please never leave me. Please never go. I love you, dog. I miss you so. You're my inspiration, my dream come true. If you ever leave me, darling Lorraine, oh, why?
Let me ask you something. Did you notice a resurgence in work after you appeared on that PBS show?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That always happens. Anytime you do television.
Right.
You
were primarily a New York, New Jersey group, and then you went to other cities like Vegas and what have you.
Yeah.
What was the weirdest place that you played, either post or pre PBS? Did you ever wind up in like Santa Fe, New Mexico, or Boulder Creek, Colorado? Did you ever wind up there?
Well, of course, we went to a lot of strange places. But no, we worked. Funny you say New Mexico. So we worked Albuquerque. There were Apache Indians in the audience. I'm not kidding.
That's great.
It was wild.
Right. Where did you film that part of the PBS show?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, but that wasn't the PBS show. I'm sorry. I'm remiss. That was from a show in Staten Island.
Yeah, right. No, the PBS show was in Pittsburgh.
Right. We didn't want to show that clip because we didn't want to get flagged.
Okay.
Bobby, do you have a website that people could look you up?
Not yet. I'm making up a new one because I'm we were just starting to talk about it. I'm doing like Larry and a lot of the other groups. I'm going on by myself.
Right.
Bobby DeAndrea, lead singer of the Knockouts, and I'm going to be doing a single. Victor's going to be playing drums for me.
Right.
And, we're gonna be going that way. I was told that's a lot of us are going that way now.
Sure. A lot of people are.
Vito was a big one telling me that I should do that, and so did Emil. Emil told me I should do that too.
Yeah. If you could do it, that's
But
the
what
best
do
way.
what do you think of it? What do you think of that idea?
You know what? It does streamline the show. As long as your vocals are there, I say go with it.
Okay.
Me and you were talking the past couple of days, and I told you that I'll be producing some shows.
Right.
And not to be unsensitive to the band, right now we don't know if COVID is going to affect the crowds.
Right.
We don't know if the doo-wop audience is phasing out.
Yeah.
So anything that could lessen the entertainment price is a good thing for promoters.
I get you. I get you.
But listen, I always said if I hit lotto, I'm going to produce a doo-wop show every month, and I'm going to give away 20,000 tickets.
Right.
I don't care if I'm rich.
Right.
But the one thing we have to look at as a business person is that we have to cover our expenses.
Absolutely.
Right. And I talked to you. Today I talked to Jerry Gross of the Dovals. I talked to Emil. It's really not about the money anymore. It's about performing for the fans.
Right.
Me and you spoke. You are definitely going to be on 1 or 2 or 3 of my shows in the next 6 or 8 months.
Okay.
Because I know the fans will love to see you again and again. And when you do have the website up, please let me know how we can help promote it for you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So just to let you know, in the shows that I'm doing now, it's September 12th. I'm doing a show that I'll be doing by myself, and I'm going to do Jimmy Durante in the doo-wop show.
In the show.
Yep, in the show. Believe at first, I wasn't going to do it. Last year I did it, and I did it on a doo-wop show, and the promoter said, "Give it a shot." I was kind of, it's a doo-wop show. I don't know if this fits. Well, let me tell you, I did that thing. They went wild. I had a standing go. They gave me a standing go. So I think I'm going to keep it in the show.
I think you should. Let me ask you this: when you do your guest appearances, you do what? 15 minutes?
15 to 20 minutes.
Do you do a lot of the Knockouts material?
Yeah, well, I do a lot of cover stuff.
You do.
Yeah.
But if I requested it, would you do it?
Requested it?
Yeah, you would do it. You have charts. You have charts for
requested it.
Yeah, you have charts for the other song. I got you. Great. I want Victor. Please get on camera, Victor, on Bobby's left shoulder. Come on in. This is Victor Mano, who we want to say. Go to the other shoulder. The other shoulder. Yeah. Hey. So, Victor, I got to ask you a question, Vic. First of all, thank you for helping out tonight. Have you ever worked with anybody quite like Bobby D'Andrea before?
Can I tell you something, Gene? Him and I talk every single day, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. We are never lost for words, and we're hysterical most of the day because him and I seem to be on the same wavelength, which is crazy. That's all I could tell you.
So with that said, I think I'm going to put Victor behind glass because 2 of you like the same on a stage. It's got to be explosive.
It will be. It will be.
Bobby,
yes.
Victor, stay in touch with me. Anything we can do to promote your website, please don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, Gene. Really.
Thank you so much, Bobby. Really great. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the latest incarnation of the Knockouts. Bobby D'Andrea, Victor Mano, Bobby D'Andrea, the 2022.
And the Guinness Book of Records. The Guinness Book of Records.
The Guinness Book. And you know what? If it's not in the Guinness Book, it's in Gene DiNapoli's book, which is called the Guinea Book of Records. So we'll do that. Great luck on your nomination, Bobby.
Okay.
Many years of health, success, and performing. and we'll see you real soon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these two gentlemen a big round of applause.
God
Thank
bless.
you, guys. Thank you so much. Wow, great. What a show. Thank you, everybody. Hey, let's hear from our sponsors once again.
Hi, this is Francisco. Many people call me the creative CPA. If you need help with your taxes or financial matters, please email me your cell number and the best time and day to call you. You can email me at franciscisco@aol.com, and Cisco is spelled SISCO. The Creative CPA. It's that simple, that easy. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Howard, and along with my partner Karen, we are Cruise Planners Dream Destinations Travel. Contrary to the name, we are a full-service travel agency specializing in individual, multi-generational, and group vacations. Certified with all major cruise lines, we are also represent all resorts and all-inclusives throughout the beautiful Caribbean and Mexico. Let us build your dream vacation. Please call us at 347-398-8653 for a free, no-obligation quote.
Little Italy Auto Repair at 628 Crescent Avenue in the true Little Italy of the Bronx. Over 50 years of automotive service excellence, ASC and state certified, offering all types of services to all types of cars. Discounts to first responders, military, Fordham University students and faculty. All work is done by Victorio with the highest level of quality possible. Telephone number is 718-933-2365 or visit his website at www.littleitalyAutobronx.webs.com. That's Little Italy Auto Repair. Hey, everybody, we forgot to mention on next week's show, which will be July 19th, we have an original member of a great group called The Times. Caesar Berry will be with us here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, July 19th. So glad to have Caesar do this for us, another great talent. And don't forget, I started work for a company called Lendipity, which does credit repair, business loans, auto loans, yacht loans, jet loans, whole bunch of stuff. So if you want to know information about them, send me an email at Gene DiNapoli @gmail.com. Thank you once again to Anthony Griffo, our producer, Chapters Network on the new network we are at. Keep an eye out on our page. Join our YouTube at Gene DiNapoli. Some very exciting news coming up and a lot more new shows. Thank you all. Stay safe. And once again, happy birthday to my mother-in-law, Roseanne. Love you, Ma. Peace out, everybody. God bless America.